Welcome to the Rangers Respite. I'm Philip. Today we're talking about the 2024 Virginia Whiskey Tournament and the eventual goal of winning the 2024 Virginia Whiskey Champion Jefferson Cup Trophy. I am extremely excited. We started with 54 distilleries operating in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We are down to 8 at the end of round 2, the beginning of round 3. And, excitingly, of these 8 distilleries, there's only one that I need to acquire a product from, and I'm working on it, I promise. Let's talk about who they are. So, bout 1 is going to be Three Crosses Distilling, up against Axe Handle Distilling. These are going to be exciting bouts. Bout 2, which is directly opposite, is going to be Cashel Distillery versus Copper Fox Distillery. Bout 3 is going to be Brady's Distillery up against Blue Shepherd Spirits, which I do not have an example from at this time. And the final bout of round 3 is going to be J.H. Bard's against the Virginia Distilling Company. We have an interesting scenario because last year, Falls Church Distillers made it all the way through to the final 4. And this year, neither of our 2 previous Virginia Whiskey champions have made it through to round 3. And I'm really excited because this means that we are guaranteed to have a distillery that has not previously won as our 2024 Virginia Whiskey champion. I can't wait to see who it is. And I can't wait to learn a little bit more about these distilleries. If you're wondering, if this is the first time that you are seeing one of these videos, every year I run the Virginia Whiskey Tournament. Voting is done on Twitter and on Instagram. It's been a really great competition this year. We've had lots of ties, lots of tiebreakers, and we are rapidly approaching the end. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to present this trophy, this small Jefferson Cup engraved with Virginia Whiskey Champion 2024. I can't wait to present this to a distillery that has earned the title, because whomever wins has definitely earned it. This is not just about the quality of the spirits that these distilleries produce. It is about the quality of the community that they build around themselves. And also spreading the word about these distilleries. There are a lot of craft distilleries in Virginia. There are a lot of very young craft distilleries in Virginia. For example, J.H. Bard's, founded in 2020. Blue Shepherd Spirits is even younger. They are so young that they don't have distribution at the moment. In order to get their products, you have to go to Luray, visit them, and purchase their spirits from them, which I recommend doing. I'm figuring out getting down there to do so myself. And I want these distilleries to succeed. Craft distilling is the future of distilling in the United States. For a long time post-Prohibition, distilling was the wheelhouse of the biggest dogs in the spirits industries. We're talking about a handful of companies, primarily based in Kentucky, doing most of the distillation that's happening in the States. We're talking about Beam, Heaven Hill, Sazerac, Brown-Forman. Yeah, like 4 or 5 brands, and consolidating, the art of distilling into Kentucky in the wake of Prohibition, and it has been a long and hard fight to get to where we are today, where there are so many distilleries in so many places doing so many interesting and unique things. None of these products are of like nature. Even even the bourbons aren't the same. The American single malts are unique. The ryes are unique. Three Crosses makes an American whiskey, a port finished rye, a maple barrel finished whiskey that is amazing that I need to get my hands on. At the end of the day, these distilleries doing new and interesting things that are creating art are part of your community. They are part of the local culture, and if you do not support them, they will cease to exist. And as much as everybody's excited about you know Booker's, Baker's, the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection and stuff like that, when you're looking for something unique, interesting, and special, you should you should be able to look to a distillery close to you. If you're in Virginia, you have J.H. Bard's down in Blacksburg. You have Cashel in Hampton. You have Copper Fox in Sperryville and Williamsburg. The Virginia Distillery Company in Livingston. Ragged Branch out near Charlottesville, Catoctin Creek in Purcellville. K.O. Distilling in Manassas. There are a lot of distilleries all over the United States. There are some that are guaranteed to be in your backyard, and they're all doing interesting things. And yeah, some of the whiskey that they're making is young. A distillery that has only been around for 4 years at this point isn't going to have the depth and breadth of a blending pool as a distillery that has been around since the early 1900s or earlier. Heck, 2012-ish. I mean, there's an enormous gap in the market that is being filled by craft distillers all over the United States doing interesting things, pushing the envelope. If you look just in Virginia, you have one of the premier producers of American single malt whiskey, the Virginia Distillery Company, who have taken the Scottish heritage of single malt whiskey and put a uniquely American spin on it and are producing fabulous whiskeys. And you have, even more traditional, you have Cashel making a peated American single malt whiskey. You have distilleries that are pushing the boundaries of what you can do and call it whiskey. Merlarky's making Smokehouse, which is a cured whiskey. It's smoked after production rather than smoking the grain ahead of time. You have use of spirals. You have Copper Fox, who are aging in barrels and at the same time steeping essentially mesh bags of oak chips and chunks from, or not oak, of fruit wood, cherry, peach wood, apple wood, and they're smoking their barley with fruit wood. And the end product is something totally unique that nobody else is doing. You aren't going to be able to get from one of the major producers because they make what they make. They don't have any interest in experimenting with that sort of thing. So at the end of the day, craft is really what's driving this. When you look at American single malt whiskey, for example, who's pushing American single malt whiskey? I'll tell you who. It's the craft producers. It is the folks like Cashel, the Virginia Distillery Company, Copper Fox, Spirit Lab Distilling, Stranahan's, Clear Creek, who make McCarthy's, Whiskey Del Bach in the Southwest, Andalusia, Santa Fe Spirits, Westland and Westward, the craft distilleries, the smaller distillers, the smaller output, who are taking this, category of whiskey and showing what you can do with it. And they are why Beam put out Claremont Steep. Sorry, I forgot the steep part. And at the end of the day, without the craft distilleries, I don't think we'd have nearly the breadth or interest in, the extremely high quality whiskey that we have on the market today. So, do your part. Help support craft distilling by supporting your local distilleries. Buy some of their whiskey, their gin, their vodka. Buy hats and t-shirts. Because if they don't survive, there isn't going to be much to replace them. They are unique. They are important, and they have a role in our spirits ecosystem that cannot be undervalued. It's been good talking to you, and until next time, take care.